In this episode, I explain duty. Tucker gets mauled by a demon in his sleep, and you wonder if this channel still does sanity or just exorcisms.
Tucker Carlson keeps buying land in the middle of nowhere. More trees than people, no cell service, paradise with ticks. He says it's where he wants to die. And every single time he tries to disappear into that peace, something drags him back. Not fame, not money, duty. Tonight we dissect the operating system of a man who keeps trying to quit the world, and the world won't let him.
Lesson 1. Retreat feels noble. It's usually just expensive cowardice. Tucker has built the perfect off-grid dream. Wood stove, dogs, fishing pond, 0 neighbors. He admits it out loud. If he followed his heart, he'd never leave. Then he catches himself and calls it what it is. Self-indulgence wearing camo and a beard. A $12 million immoral spa day. The woods are great for a weekend. They're a trap if you mistake silence for righteousness. Take that pivotal moment back in 2023, right after Fox News showed him the door. Tucker headed straight to his remote property in Bryant Pond, Maine. A slice of wilderness with thick pine forests, a glassy pond teeming with fish, and absolute solitude. He threw himself into the rhythm of rural life, splitting logs for the fire, hiking with his spaniels, casting lines at dawn. It felt pure, almost heroic, like stepping out of the chaos into some higher plane. But as the quiet stretched on, doubt crept in. In a later podcast, he reflected on it plainly. I love it here, but staying would be selfish. The world's on fire and I'm playing pioneer? That honesty strips away the romance. Retreat can recharge you, sure, but linger too long, and it's just a high-priced hideout, dodging the hard calls while the bills pile up on your conscience. It's cowardice dressed in flannel, and Tucker knows it stings like hell when you admit it.
Lesson 2. The more you've been given, the less you're allowed to sit. His rule is brutally simple. Talent plus platform plus resources equals 0 excuses. Most people hit a certain income and say, cool, I'm out. Tucker hears the same number and thinks, great, heavier backpack. Blessing without burden is just comfort with better Wi-Fi. He didn't choose the equation, he just refuses to cheat it. Consider his background. Born into privilege, educated at elite spots like Trinity College, launching into journalism with doors swinging open. By the time he hit CNN and then Fox, he'd amassed a voice that reached millions, a net worth in the tens of millions, and influence that could sway elections. Most folks in his shoes would cash out, buy a yacht, and vanish. But Tucker sees it differently. In speeches, he's quoted saying things like, if you've been handed this much, sitting on it is a betrayal. It's like that old parable of the talents in the Bible. Bury what you're given, and you're wasting it. He launched Tucker Carlson Network after Fox, not because he needed the cash, but because letting that platform gather dust felt like theft from those who needed the truth. The irony? The more success piles up, the tighter the chains of duty bind. You can't just lounge by the pool when the house is burning. Not if you're the one with the hose.
Lesson 3. Solitude recharges. Purpose demands you leave the cabin. He loves being unreachable, loves the quiet so much it hurts. But he noticed something. The longer the silence lasts, the easier it is to confuse rest with surrender. Peace is a battery. Duty is the machine that spends it. If the battery never gets plugged in, you're just a guy hiding with good firewood. Picture Tucker in those Maine woods during one of his escapes. Phone off, no emails pinging, just the rustle of leaves and the crackle of a campfire. He shared how those moments reset him, clearing the mental fog from endless interviews and controversies. But he also warns about the trap. In a 2024 talk, he described a stretch where he stayed too long, letting the isolation turn into inertia. The quiet starts whispering that you've done enough, he said. But that's a lie.
It's like recharging your phone overnight, only to leave it on the nightstand all day. What's the point? Solitude sharpens the mind, hones the soul, but purpose yanks you back to the fray. Tucker's learned to treat it as fuel, not a destination. Without that pull to return, you're not resting, you're retreating. And in the end, the cabin becomes a cage, pretty as it is, locking you away from the real work waiting outside.
Lesson 4. Duty doesn't need visible ROI. He keeps saying things that get him canceled in new zip codes every week. Zero evidence the country is listening. He still shows up, same time, same fight. Because duty isn't a marketing campaign with quarterly reports. Sometimes you plant trees you'll never sit under. Sometimes you scream into the void and the void doesn't scream back. You still scream. Look at his post-Fox era, interviewing Vladimir Putin in Moscow, despite the backlash and zero immediate policy shifts. Or calling out Big Pharma on his show, knowing it'd alienate sponsors and draw fire from all sides. In Reflections, he's admitted, "I don't see the wins stacking up, but that's not why I do it." It's echoing that stoic vibe from Marcus Aurelius. Do the right thing because it's right, not for applause. The ROI? Invisible, maybe non-existent in your lifetime. But Tucker presses on week after week because folding for lack of metrics would cheapen the whole endeavor. The fine irony here is that the louder the silence from the audience, the clearer the call of duty becomes. It's not about likes or polls, it's about showing up when it counts, even if the only echo is your own voice in the dark.
Lesson 5. Real friends won't let you retire to the woods. At his most "I'm done with all this" moment, a friend sent him a letter, not an email, a letter, the kind that burns the envelope. It basically said, "Stop pretending the mission is over." Tucker credits that letter with dragging him out of the hammock and back into the ring. Real friends don't co-sign your comfort, they hand you the heavier weight. This happened during one of his low points, holed up in Maine, contemplating a full exit from public life. The letter arrived via old-school mail, penned by a close confidant who'd seen Tucker's fire dim. It didn't mince words. "You've got the tools, the voice. Quitting now is desertion." Tucker has recounted how it hit like a gut punch, forcing him to confront the easy out. True friendship, in his world, isn't pats on the back. It's a mirror held up when you're veering off course. Think of it like those old war stories, where a buddy hauls you from the foxhole, not for glory, but because the fight needs you. The subtle twist? Comfort feels like a reward, but real allies know it's a siren song. They shove you back in, weights and all, because duty shared is duty doubled.
Okay, time to earn the click. Tucker Carlson, November 2024, tells the world he was attacked in his bed by a demon. Not a nightmare, not sleep paralysis. A literal entity jumps him while he's asleep. He wakes up bleeding, 4 long claw marks down his ribs and shoulder, still visible weeks later. His dogs, 4 of them, slept through the whole thing like it was Disney on ice. His takeaway? Quote, "I've never been the same. I read the Bible a lot more now." That's not a midlife crisis. That's a plot twist even M. Night Shyamalan would call excessive.
You don't have to fight demons in your bedroom to get the message. Duty is inconvenient. It ruins your fishing plans. It follows you into the woods and taps you on the shoulder when you're finally comfortable. Comfort isn't evil, but it makes a terrible god. Tucker's story is simple. Every time he tried to choose peace over responsibility, something or someone refused to let him. Here are the 5 lessons. 1. Retreat feels noble. It's usually just expensive cowardice. 2. The more you've been given, the less you're allowed to sit. 3. Solitude recharges. Purpose demands you leave the cabin. 4. Duty doesn't need visible ROI. 5. Real friends won't let you retire to the woods. So here's the question you don't get to dodge. Where in your life are you choosing the cabin over the fight? And what's it costing the rest of us? Drop it in the comments. No filter, I read every one. If this one hit you in the chest, made you laugh at the insanity, or both, hit like, subscribe, ring the bell. Because we keep delivering the truths they won't put in the Sunday sermon, just with enough darkness and laughter to swallow the medicine. No face, just truth. See you next dose.